In a small, quiet town lived a boy named Jake. Jake grew up poor. Most days, his pockets were completely empty. His shoes were worn out, and his backpack had tears patched up over and over. There were nights when he went to bed hungry, the gnawing ache in his stomach, a constant reminder of what he didn't have. But Jake had something that poverty couldn't touch, something no one could ever take away from him, a dream. He dreamed of doing something big, something that could not only change his own life, but lift his family out of their struggles. But whenever Jake gathered the courage to talk about his dreams, people laughed. They'd look at his worn clothes and shake their heads. "Be realistic," they'd say, their voices filled with pity. "You don't come from money. You should be worried about just getting by, not dreaming so big." Their words stung, sharp and cold, but deep inside, Jake held on to one powerful belief. Where you start in life does not decide where you end up. One evening, Jake was sitting by the river, feeling completely lost. The weight of everyone's doubt felt heavier than ever. Just then, an old, kind teacher named Mr. Ray, who had a gentle way about him, noticed the boy and stopped to talk. "You look like you're carrying the world on your shoulders," Mr. Ray said softly. "What's on your mind?" Jake looked up, his eyes filled with frustration. "Everyone says I can't succeed because I'm poor," he confessed. "They say that big dreams aren't for people like me." Mr. Ray just smiled, a knowing, warm smile. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, simple mirror. "Look at this," he said, holding it up to Jake. "What do you see?" "Myself," Jake replied, confused. "Look closer," Mr. Ray urged. "Do you see the pain in your eyes? The hurt from all those words?" Jake looked again and nodded slowly. The reflection stared back, carrying every ounce of his disappointment. "Now," Mr. Ray continued, his voice steady and calm, "look deeper. Past the pain, do you see the fire behind it?" Jake leaned in, focusing intently. And this time, it did see Italiano. Flicker, a small, quiet, but powerful spark, burning with defiance. "That fire is your belief," Mr. Ray said. "Most people let that fire fade out. They let the world blow it out with doubt and fear. But if you protect it, if you feed it with hard work and unwavering discipline, it will become a blaze that lights your way even when life feels its darkest." He then added something Jake would never forget. "People will try to cover your mirror with their doubt. They'll smudge it with their limitations and tell you that you're not good enough. Your job, Jake, is to wipe that mirror clean every single day. Not with words, but with your actions." Jake never forgot those words. They became the fuel for his fire. From that day on, he worked differently. He didn't just study to pass his exams anymore. He studied to grow, to truly understand. He saw every mistake not as a failure, but as a lesson. He faced setbacks, but he never, ever quit. Life wasn't easy. It was a constant uphill battle. His mom was often sick, and the worry for her health was always present. His dad worked long, grueling hours at the factory, but his paychecks barely covered their basic needs. Jake knew he had to step up. He had to be the one to change their story. So his life became a relentless cycle of work. During the day, he was a student, soaking up knowledge at school. In the evenings, he washed dishes and waited tables at a small cafe. On weekends, he didn't rest. He helped out at a local repair shop, learning how to fix things, eager to gain any practical skill he could. And at night, long after his family was asleep, Jake would study under a single, weak light, his mind racing while the rest of the town was quiet. He gave up comfort. He gave up sleep. Sometimes, he even gave up meals to save a little extra money. But he never gave up on his dream. That was non-negotiable. Years passed. Years of sacrifice and relentless effort. Finally, with the small amount of money he had scraped together, Jake opened a tiny phone repair stand on a street corner. He treated every single customer with kindness and respect. He poured every dollar of profit right back into his small business, buying better tools, better parts. Slowly but surely, his reputation grew. People started talking about the boy who could fix anything, the one who always had a smile and did honest work. That one little stand eventually turned into 3 busy shops. And those 3 shops grew into a real, thriving company. The same people who once laughed at his dreams, who told him to be realistic, now stood in line at his company, asking for jobs. The irony was not lost on him, but he held no resentment, only a quiet sense of accomplishment. He was finally able to get his mom the proper medical care she needed. His dad no longer had to work himself to exhaustion. He could finally rest. One sunny afternoon, Mr. A came to visit Jake's main office. Jake greeted him at the door, not as a struggling boy, but as a successful man, his eyes shining with a deep, grateful smile. Mr. A looked around at everything Jake had built and said, "The world often teaches kids from nothing to think small, to stay in their lane. But the ones who dare to think big, they are the ones who change their story. Dreams aren't about how much money you have in your pocket, they're about how strong the vision is in your heart." The lesson from Jake's story is this: if his journey gave you even a little bit of hope today, please share this video with someone you know who needs to hear it. Remember, your next chapter, your bigger story, starts the very moment you choose to think bigger than your circumstances. Start today. Thanks for watching.